Whoa. Oh my God. What do the trolls make of that? And how have they used? I don't care, of course. I don't care. The troll activity's down. It really is. Those channels just got tired of fixating on me and everything I say in every single video. They just went on to bother somebody else. Hey guys, it's Matt. I want to start off the Fish in a Barrel reality show, not with a nose whistle check, but by thanking Paul for our official show graphic. Paul also brought us Norm the Bathtub Rebel series in cartoon format. I need to revisit that as soon as possible. We're going to spend some time looking at the esoteric and occult symbolism, potentially subliminals that came from Paul in creating this graphic. Some things I'm not even sure he's aware of. We could do a whole hour just on this graphic. Now, as you guys know, only the old-fashioned radio show has sponsors, like Senator Marco Rubio's Bubble Parties of Central and South Florida. This will be the first sponsor on any show other than the old-fashioned radio show. The Richardson Bay Regional Agency, yes, the agency we've been talking about, those trying to kick those poor people off the boats, the Rich Boy Reach Around actually reached out to, not in that way, not what was presented in Bill's posters, they reached around out to me, and they said, "We want to be a Quantum of Conscience sponsor." I said, "You do?" After I was so harsh on you in the last two videos for how you're persecuting those poor people living on the boats, said, "We want to be a sponsor." But just like the Dalai Lama said to Carl in Caddyshack when he carried his bags, they said to me, "There'll be no money. But if you promote us, we'll stop persecuting those rabble that live on the boats." And I said, "Stop calling them that. They're real people, real spiritual beings that are freedoming pretty hard. Stop. We'll make a deal. I'll promote your dumbass agency, but stop persecuting them and stop looking down on them from your $5 million homes." And they said, "Deal." Now let's do a minute or two looking at the potential symbolism or what Paul was trying to express in creating the official graphic for the Fish in a Barrel reality show. This will be looked at for centuries to come, analyzed more than famous paintings like the Scream. You know the Scream painting? By the way, here's an incredible trivia question for your next Eyes Wide Shut cocktail party. Go up to somebody in the Eyes Wide Shut party. You know the Scream painting where it's just crying out? Everybody knows it. Oh, yeah, yeah. Who painted it? Nobody knows. Even the people at the Eyes Wide Shut party, like, whoa, who? Yeah, who was it? Dale? No, it was Edvard Munch. Who? Not Edward Munch. It's Edvard Munch, like Munch. So everybody knows the painting, but nobody on earth has ever heard of the artist. Isn't that strange? Matt, that's a Mandela effect. No, it's not. And the Brady Bunch special aired, and you just missed it. Now, per the graphic here where it says fish in a barrel and then it says real, it's real spiritual beings. So the Baphomet, or in this case, one that's posing like the Baphomet or as a Baphomet wannabe, is trying to shoot real spiritual beings, thinking it will be as easy as fish in a barrel. Paul brought out one of the true meanings of why I call this Fish in a Barrel reality show. See, can't quite get it done, can you, wannabe Baphomet? The fish just keeps squirting out of your hands and hitting you in the right eye, creating the right eye symbolism you care so much about. And it's a false Baphomet. I didn't tell Paul to do all this. I don't know where it came from. It's got the salve and coagula. We'll talk about that in a moment. It says not milk on the arm. Now, regarding the general population and the way the not milk looks to the proletariat, I'm sure to them today it's as easy as shooting fish in a barrel with their technology and various mind control techniques and AI and fluoride in the water and a million other things. Guiding the great unwashed in the direction that it wants is rather easy and probably becoming boring. But I think what Paul's saying, what Gus is saying here, is there's one tiny little percentage inside of a larger group where the fish just keeps getting away. That's us. You, Jack Burton, me. That's you and me and the other real spiritual beings here, the small percentage that have woken up to the trick. Just can't hold the fish in its hands. Just can't get a clear shot. And the real question is the false Baphomet still trying? Or is it just given up, saying, those people are going to be awake. They're going to see through the trick. They're in this reality system, they'll be called winners. We'll let them go. We've marginalized them. We've made them the boy and girl who cried wolf. Their family and friends don't believe their horse shit. Let them go. Stop trying to shoot into the barrel. Let them swim around their own little barrel, their not milk-free zone, or whatever else, whatever little petty demands they're going to make. We'll let them go as winners, because this bigger barrel here, the barrel the size of 80,000 Olympic pools, that's the fish in a barrel to them. It's very similar to jumping off the ship of fools, isn't it? Paul, this will be studied for centuries. Now let's look at the, quote, real thing for a few minutes. Paul had the Salve and Caligula. We'll look the Salve and Caligula. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. What if that thing came to pick your daughter up for the prom? Could you imagine a face only a mother could love? And who's the mother? Is this Satan, or is the mother Satan? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one it is. Salve and Caligula. Oh, Matt, that's as above, so below. Oh, you have Pootie Tang Award on you. But here's the first thing I noticed in terms of what we've been talking about recently. It's got the damn Hermes. What is it called? The caduceus. Is that the caduceus? It looks like where its pene would be. See that when the caduceus appears in the middle of the Baphomet between its man breasts, I'm not sure the caduceus is really an appropriate symbol of medicine. I don't care what Hermes thrice great with his girlfriend says or not. I'm not real thrilled that this thing has the symbol of medicine right where its pene should be. A face only a mother could love. And who's its mother? Salve Caligula. Okay, let's do the Salve Caligula. Let's solve the dissolve. And it's alchemical, building the world back in the way that they want, these creeps want. And then coagulate it, bring it back, coagulate it back together again. In the way, this is the way that Glenn Beck used to talk about the damn Fabian Society of mold the world in the way they want. And at least it was, that's why we thought it was real truth back in the day, listening to Glenn Beck and some of the, we thought it, and Alex Jones, we thought it was real, we thought that was the highest level truth. We didn't understand the concept of the graduated animal farm, but there was a lot of truth in what Alex Jones talked about. It's just to keep you at a lower level. Glenn Beck, month after month, breaking down all the shell companies owned by George Soros and how they're trying to stir up the rioting. Of course, that's all correct. But it wanted to be out in the open. It wasn't trying to hide. It wanted to be out in the open to a certain population that was on the verge of waking up. Some of us left those animal cages and pens and moved on. But many get stuck. That is the purpose of the graduated animal farm. And just like Morpheus, in the first moment or a few seconds, he's in the construct. He does the as above, so below. And people think that the Wachowski brothers and sisters, they think the Wachowskis did everything regarding the Matrix. Do you know how layered the Matrix is? How it's symbolism on top of symbolism. It's a presentation of Gnosticism. They think it's just these two guys that eventually wanted to be women. Oh, sure. Oh, and I always have to do this every single time I talk about the Matrix. No, it's really the people that run around the internet and claim that they wrote it. And every time I talk about it, there's a commenter that thinks that somebody that's running around the internet saying that the Wachowskis stole it from them is the actual writer of the Matrix. No, the Matrix was written by the back room of Not Milk itself. It's very important to the dark figures you'll never see on TV. The figures that take Bill Gates out on a walk on a leash. Matt, now you taking shots at the Baphomet? You ignorant boy. You ignorant. On this Quantum of Conscious channel, every single time that occultism or esotericism, or look, there's the Kabbalion, that's Hermeticism. Anytime this stuff comes up, Matt's got to take pot shots at it. You know what? This Matt, he don't understand it. Hey, Matt, hey, how many pages you read of the occult text and the Hermetic principles and the alchemical works? How many pages you read? I ain't read none of it. I ain't gonna read none of it. See, you don't understand it. You just ignorant. No, I think we're here to do the work on our own. I think all this Hermeticism, occultism, and esotericism is absolute horse shit. This is the purpose of the Fish in a Barrel reality show, so I can go off in this manner. I don't need to just get the tomes and the works of other great men that stood before me and bow down before them. You know what? We're here to do the work on our own. Worry about yourself. Now, I'm not throwing the entire Kabbalion under the bus or into the lake. There's some principles here that I like. Yeah, all is mind. Yeah, great. We can figure that out for ourselves. I like the fact that it's reiterated in the first principle of Kabbalion, all is mind. There wasn't no big bang. Consciousness came first. I appreciate it. I don't need to bow down before it for us to navigate through this reality. Yeah, I like correspondence. As above, so below. That gets you thinking in a different way. I appreciate that. But people bow down before this. It's only the works of the great men and women that came before. Well, not too many women except Elena Blavatsky, and she's waiting for me in the light. Look at the bottom of the book, the Kabbalah on Hermetic Principles by the three initiates. I loathe the word initiate. This entire reality is some sick initiation. Whether it be voting on Tuesday, an initiation to Republican, Democrat, politics, an initiation just walking down the street, participating in the Irish Day Parade, that's an initiation. Everything is, the Boy Scouts is, if you're a fan of the lowly New York Jets, that's an initiation. The Catholic is an initiation. Everything here, you know what? If everything in this reality is presenting some sort of initiation, rule of opposites, I reject it. You can do it yourself. You don't need no tag. You don't need no title. You can do it. Worry about yourself. Sorry. Around 10 years ago, I asked a question in a comment to a truth channel / I don't know, very occult, very alchemic. I don't know what they were into. It was very dark. It was very interesting to me at the time, 10 years ago. I just asked a simple question about, what do you think about this? Or what came back to me was, get initiated. It was like, even back then it was like offensive. I was like, really? How about just answering my question? One real human to another. Just answer my question. You go, oh, okay, to get my question answered, I got to get initiated. How do I start? Or I got to sit up on a mountaintop, or I got to take my pants down, or whatever. Just answer my damn question. Share information. Don't give me that horse shit. This is exactly what the Fish in a Barrel reality show is for. We need to get a little angry from time to time. It's not appropriate in midnight reality. It's not appropriate in the old-fashioned radio show that's supposed to be fun. And some of what comes out here is a little negative, okay? We don't want to let that sort of energy or louche leak out. We keep it to ourselves, but every once in a while it's appropriate. Okay, this is the side of Matt that Missy, that girl I dated 4 centuries ago, she didn't like. We were watching the Oscars. I've told you this a million times. And she's, I don't like this side of you. I didn't know you were like this. Hey, where did this come? How many beers have you had? I had 4 or 5 beers, probably. I mean, it was a lot. And we were watching the Oscars. I had to get drunk. She loved the Oscars. And I was like, look at that son of a beach. He's stroking his golden phallus of Osiris. He can't even wait to get it in the back room. He's stroking it while he's giving his acceptance speech. I don't like this side of you. Who is this person sitting with me? She didn't like it one bit. But every once in a while, it needs to come out.
Hermetic Philosophy of Ancient Egypt and Greece by 3 Initiates. The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding.
What did he say? The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. Well, how am I going to understand if the lips are closed? Speak up! Your lips are closed. Well, you don't understand. How am I going to understand? The first sentence didn't make any sense to me. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Originally published by the Yogi Publication Society, Masonic Temple, Chicago, Illinois. Copyright 1908. To Hermes Trismegistus, known by the ancient Egyptians as the Great Great and Master of Masters.
The first sentence hasn't even been read yet, and it's already confusing and contradictory. Now, I was at Penn State. I wasn't no linguist major. I could barely speak. But we've all heard this. Hermes Trismegistus is thrice great, right? Doesn't thrice mean 3 times great? You've all heard that. I have. They know. But they're only calling him great. They're leaving out a great. It's already confusing. Hermes thrice great. You once, twice, thrice times a lady, and was that Kenny Rogers or Lionel Richie? I think it's Lionel Richie. So you don't call him great, you forgot a great. He's thrice great. You call, where's Mr. Great? It's the 3G. Oh no. And it's not, why not, if he's thrice, not master of masters, master of the master of the master. Get your 3 in there, boy. It's already confusing.
We take great pleasure in presenting to the attention of students and investigators of the secret doctrines this little work based upon the world-old Hermetic teachings.
You can't make this up. then what follows, the very first sentence of the introduction, is confusing and contradictory. It must be just me. Matt, just plain dumb. I'm just dumb, I guess. But if it's a secret doctrine, what's it doing on YouTube? Why can I go to the library and check it out if it's a secret doctrine? It says here, this is presented to students of the secret doctrines. See, this book, that what follows, the old world Hermetic teachings, is very important to students that are trying to understand the secret doctrine. So if this is so important, how is it a secret? It's on YouTube, available to 7 billion people, and I can go check it out at a library. Oh, but there's parts that are a secret. This part's not a secret, but then why would this part be so important? What is it? And why does it have to be a secret? If you know something about reality, well, just tell people. Most won't believe you, of course. Most will laugh and want to go back to the Oscars. But why does it have to be a secret? Just tell people, share it openly, as we do here. If I understand something, or I think I understand something about reality, I just talk about it. And people in the comments and emails share what they know about reality with me, and then I put it back out, and we just help each other. Secret doctrine. This don't make no sense.
There is no portion of the occult teachings possessed by the world which have been so closely guarded as the fragments of the Hermetic teachings which have come down to us over the tens of centuries which have elapsed since the lifetime of its great founder, Hermes Trismegistus, the scribe of the gods.
What did he say? Scribe of the gods? What gods? Hermes sitting there with a pen and pad or something, and Zeus is spouting off about this and that. He taking notes or something? What's he talking about? I'm asking the question. Is it the Greek gods like Apollo, or is it Ra and Osiris and Set and those sons of bitches? What gods? And then what did it say? So closely guarded. Well, why would the knowledge be so closely guarded? Does that mean kept secret? Why not share it with everybody? Write it on telephone poles if you have to. Well, knowledge of that level is supposed to be shared. We don't like the word occult. Why would it be hidden? Why you got to hide it?
Our intent is not to erect a new temple of knowledge, but rather to place in the hands of the student a master key with which he may open the many inner doors in the temple of mystery through the main portals he has already entered.
Our intent is not to erect a new temple of knowledge. Well, thanks for that. We got that going for us. Speak plainly, sir. Your intent is not to overwrite everything we've learned over the last 5,000 years. Well, that's good. Well, what did he say? But instead to present some master key so the student of mysteries? What mysteries? Why does it have to be a mystery? Where's your half page, sir? Why you got all these pages and pages? I mean, where's your half page? Why can't you make it simple? What mysteries? And how come the people need this key? How come the people that wrote about it before couldn't just speak plainly? Don't make no sense. And how come you never talk about the spiritual adversary? This is Matt, why you got to mock all this? And here it is, the big problem right here. I never know every single page of the Kabbalion. I never checked this out of the Library of Congress and spent weeks with it, boarded up in a hotel room. But there's no talk, as far as I've seen, point it out to me if I've missed it, of the spiritual adversary. The enemy, the opponent, the spiritual opponent trying to block you. The Christian calls out Satan, affiliate Satan. That's the spiritual adversary. And all this esotericism and mysticism, but Matt, they don't call it out because potentially the people this is the spiritual blocker. Yeah, maybe. That doesn't mean there's truth in it. That doesn't mean Kabbalion one all is mind is not true. But where is the discussion of the spiritual adversary, the thing here that's meant to block you? We just making this up? Or the society just all evolved organically on its own, where millions of kids don't know what bathroom to use on a Tuesday, and then they get confused Wednesday on how to zip up their fly? Yeah, that all came about naturally. Yeah, there's you people talk about spiritual adversary and an evil here and a bad guy, or just look around society. Every political election cycle is the two biggest moron, idiot, retarded assholes that could ever be put on a ballot. Yeah, it's all natural. Yeah, there's nobody here trying to screw with society, trying to block real spiritual beings. We're just making all that up. Where's all the talk of the bad guy in all this esoteric horse shit? Look at this. Look what I found. This is Hermes. I'll zoom in a moment to see what this person is asking. It says, does anybody know for certain who the figure slumped behind Hermes is in this image? Who is this person meant to be? And if you're long haul trucking, there is this, in this drawing, there's an image on the floor. His head's like propped up against a desk or something. He's either asleep or dead, slumped over behind Hermes. It looks like, did he try to steal the caduceus? Hermes isn't holding it. Maybe he's paying the price. I don't know. But yeah, I can answer this question. Does anybody know for certain who the figure is slumped over? I do. It's somebody that tried to read and understand the text. Somebody that tried to get a grasp on these Hermetic principles. Yeah, I like mentalism and I like correspondence, as above, so below. But for this other stuff, how does it help me navigate the supermarket? Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, principle of polarity, principle of rhythm, cause and effect, principle of what? Principle of gender. That's extremely appropriate. Maybe all the mysteries of what's happening today with Bruce is revealed in the principle of gender. I know who this guy is. It's some guy that said, F this. I can't understand this horse shit. It doesn't help me navigate through reality. Where's your half page? He just went and got a drink, passed out. He's telling Hermes, this is what I think about all your principles, because you know what? There's some good stuff in there. But you know what? They don't call out the spiritual bad guy. They don't tell you how to protect yourself from the spiritual bad guy. But Matt, all his mind is representation that the bad guy is a reflection of you. If you take it that way, that's pretty good. Maybe it is meant to be that. And I agree with Not Milk wouldn't exist without people like you and people like me. It wouldn't even exist. So, okay, Matt, you're just too dumb to understand it. You know what? It could. You think I can't understand it? It could be more simple. It could be a little bit more succinctly presented. Leave out all the horse shit and talk a mystery school this and secret doctor and this. It's all horse shit. Just speak plainly, sir. Give us information we can use. If the average person trying to buy cucumbers rejects it, so they reject it. Don't say it's closely guarded. Why is it closely guarded? Should staple it to every telephone pole so people like Aaron can steal it. Whoever did this and asked the question to Reddit, he put a box. Hey, I appreciate you putting the box around the guy that's slumped over, asking the question about who's this guy that looks asleep or dead. Well, they put a little box around his foot. It's really important that you know that the guy's foot is hanging out. So you got a box around the foot and a box around the drunk dude. And again, it's just somebody that gave up. Said, I can't. He looked up at Hermes. He said, before I steal your caduceus, I just want to tell you, I can't make heads or tails of this horse shit. Here's the half page, ladies and gentlemen. Don't need no mystery schools. Don't need no initiation. Don't need no principles. Don't need no scribe of the gods. We were born into a reality that plays a trick. Most people will live out their natural lives falling for every bit of the trick. A gigantic part of the trick comes on Tuesday in the United States. Go vote. Go give your energy over to it. There are a million different permutations of the trick. Step 1, part 1. Can you see through every single element of the trick? 99.999% of people that have ever walked what we call the earth, in my opinion, have not completely emerged from all aspects of the trick. I think we are there or we're very close. In desperation, those that are emerging or seeing past the trick, reality throws every single fastball and curveball it has left in its arsenal in the form of conspiracy, in hundreds of topics to keep you sucked in that last aspect of the trick, to keep you distracted there before you expire and die, with mudflood, Tartaria, and that's, in my opinion, where all this occult, esoteric horseshit comes in. You emerge from all aspects of the trick. Once you look around and say, this whole reality, every bit of it, other than the game board and the natural world, is designed to play a trick, then you say to yourself, this is not that hard. Why was it playing a trick? It's trying to keep me from something. So then part 2, the work, the worry about yourself activities, is to figure out and go do everything it was trying to keep you from. There's an organized adversary here. It's rarely talked about or never talked about in all these esoteric tomes. That means that maybe the esoteric tomes are part of the trick, but that's just me, and I'm too stupid to understand all this. Thanks for listening.